Hey everyone, this is the 815 Sports Pod. I'm here with Jake Cole. Today we're going to talk about a little bit the NBA's games today, last night. Jake fed up with the shift. Illinois adds Shannon Jr. from Texas Tech, and the Cubs dropped 2 to the White Sox. So last night, the 76ers beat the Heat 99-79. Joel Embiid returned to the floor, mask and all, and now the series is 2-1 Miami, and the Mavericks beat the Suns 103-94 behind Luka's near triple double, and the Suns lead that series 2-1 behind Chris Paul and Devin Booker just playing insanely well. And tonight we have the Celtics and the Bucks this afternoon, and we have the Warriors and the Grizzlies at 7:30 this evening. Jake, what are your predictions for tonight's games?
How about the home teams? It seems to be the home teams are winning every game. Both series are now 2-1, and games fours are going to be played at the same arena. So it just seems to be that teams play better at home, which obviously the Bulls didn't get that memo. But who plays again tonight?
The Celtics play the Bucks at 2:30. That game's in Milwaukee, and then the Grizzlies are in Golden State.
Yeah, I'm going to take Golden State, and I'll take Boston. Boston's really good. They came out game 2 and showed you who they really were. Game 1 I don't know what that was, but it was a good rebound for Boston in game 2. And I think they're going to get this game.
Yeah, I think that the Bucks are going to pull it off tonight. I think Giannis is going to go crazy after that game they had in Game 2 where Boston just played really well, and Milwaukee didn't have it that game. And I think that Golden State's going to come back and get one tonight. Clay played awful the last time they played.
How about that series? That's a fun. John Morant and Steph Curry.
Yeah,
they've been jawing. And that's fun. That's a fun series.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. It's like you can almost see the transform the league. Kind of going into the younger guys now.
Right.
We watch Curry and LeBron and Harden and those guys dominate. And now you're seeing the younger faces starting to take over with the Bookers, the John Morants, the Lucas. But yeah, I think the Warriors are going to win that series tonight. I seen a video of John Morant out partying in San Francisco, which I'd be doing the same thing if I was him. But yeah, I think Golden State's going to get it. So both those series, like you said, tied 1-1. And then in other news, was it last week or it was just after we recorded our last episode that Illinois got Shannon Jr. from Texas Tech? What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's a major pickup. Illinois needed some experience. Illinois needed a little bit of more depth. They do have a lot of depth. Brad Underwood's going to have a hard time getting all these guys minutes, but that's a good thing to have. You want that. But he brings experience. He brings leadership. He pretty much brings everything. He's even got experience in March. I mean, Texas Tech has made some decent runs the last couple of years, and I think he's probably gonna start. I think he brings everything to the table that you could ask for in a player.
Mm-hmm.
And don't really know much about him, like how he is personally, because we don't know much about him, but I think.
He's from the Chicago area, right?
From the Chicago area.
Yeah.
And
he's played on some good teams there. I see last year he averaged 10 points.
On a very good Texas Tech team.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
He's 6'6", 215 pounds. So he's got a little bit of height to him. And that's good. I think Illinois is trending to being more taller at the positions than they have been in Brad Underwood's first 5 years. They've had amazing players, but they've been a little bit undersized
besides
Kofi, but Kofi can't get 40 rebounds a game, so
it's a team effort. Rebounding,
a team effort.
Yeah,
and I think Illinois is going to do a lot better in that phase next year.
And I see last year he's a pretty good free throw shooter, damn near 80%, almost 40% from three, nearly a steal a game. So that'll be good, to add that size, length to guard the taller, more agile guys in the Big Ten. So I'm looking forward to what Illinois has to offer next year and how he fits into that lineup. Lately, Jake's been texting me and all pissed off about the shift and how much he just can't stand it. He can't wait for this season to be over and there not to be a shift anymore. So we did a little bit of research on that. And just for an example, we're talking about Anthony Rizzo. This year when he goes up to the plate, almost 88% of the time, teams shift against him.
Yeah.
which is part of the game. You got to deal with it.
Right.
But
so I got a different take on this. It's growing up, it was always, well, why the hitters need to adjust. Make the hitters take it to left field. Make the hitters hit it over the third baseman who's playing in right field's head. Why can't we ever make the pitchers adjust? Like, make them make a better pitch. Like, why is it always make the hitters adjust? Or can we have a little bit of both? Like, the shift just, it needs to go. There was a time for it, which was years ago when it just started to come in, and teams didn't do it that much. And now teams are just, what are they? They're shifting on 30%.
37% of the time this year.
37% of major league pitches they're shifting on.
And more specifically, teams like the Blue Jays are shifting on 74% of plays this year. The Dodgers, 64%, and the Cubs, 45%.
Like, just why does the third baseman need to play right field? And, like, just bring your right fielder in and have him play mid-right field. Like, it's just crazy. When a major, like, the pitchers already have the advantage. How hard is it to hit a 98-mile-an-hour fastball? I probably couldn't do it. You give me 50 swings, I probably swing and miss every time. It's already hard enough to hit a major league fastball. And then when you do, and you smoke it to right field, and it's way out in the outfield, oh, well, there's a dude right there, and it's just stupid. It needs to go. I don't like it. And you know what? There's a lot of people that don't like it either. And that's why in 2023, there's probably going to be, like regulations on how you shift.
Oh, yeah.
And how you.
That's going to be weird. What are they going to do? Just stop the game? And how are they going to just make guys move over to the other side?
Well, they're going to do it because it's coming. They're going to have to. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
And this year, to start off, the batting average has been historically low, 230, and hits have dropped off plenty due to the shift. When the shift first came in, they weren't doing it as much, but now they're doing it all the time.
We always hear how baseball's boring.
Not enough offense.
Not enough offense. Like,
this is the reason why.
I'll tell you what. You get rid of the shift, and you're going to have a lot. You're going to have a lot more runs being scored per game. Hitting's going to go up, and I don't know. I personally don't think baseball is boring at all. I like to watch it. If you don't like to watch a 3-hour game, then don't watch it. Go watch whatever you like to watch. But
Netflix.
I wouldn't mind to see it be more like to see more 8-7, run games. I mean,
but it never really seemed to me though that like teams, like when Rizzo was on the Cubs and you come up and they had the whole third baseline, it never seemed like they were really into bunting.
Yeah.
Just playing a small ball.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing. Small ball it's gone. It's not even around anymore. Nobody bunts. I don't even know if anybody knows how to bunt. It's all about home run or nothing, and that's fine. I mean, if that's
chicks dig the long ball.
They dig the long ball, but I also dig the ball that just gets it done. You just win the game, and we'll see.
Yeah, and then the Cubs, they had the Crosstown Cup this week. Few of those games, and they lost both of them to the White Sox, which is kind of embarrassing because they definitely should have won at least one of those.
Well, they were very competitive games. It was 3-1, I believe, was the final, and 4-3. They were in it. But another thing, in game 2, the Cubs have first and third, nobody out in the bottom of the 8th, and they cannot even get the run and tie. They can't even tie the game. You should probably take the lead with first and third, nobody out, let alone tie it. And like you just said, bunting, if you play small ball, if you just try to get that run across. I understand the Cubs are the home team, so they should, they're playing for the win, but the Cubs are going to be terrible this year. So play for the tie just to win a stinking game. I mean, that was a frustrating game, but the Sox are better. We knew that. It's obvious. It's fine. It is what it is. I mean, they're a better baseball team than the Cubs. That doesn't mean the Cubs can't beat them once. And they should have. They should have won that game too. And they didn't. Kyle Hendricks serves meatballs, and they get hit out of the ballpark a lot at Wrigley Field.
He's starting to get rocked.
But he gave you a chance, he gave you a chance to win the game, and that's all you ask. But, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, early on I thought the Cubs were going to have a, halfway decent year, but now Now I just think they're going to have a losing record at the end of the
Well,
year, and we're just going to have to get through the season.
It's going to be one of them years where the Cubs probably win a couple games and everyone thinks they can keep doing it, but it's just they're not going to. These guys are kind of, I feel like they're fill-in guys. We've got some players who are probably going to be there for the next decent good Cub team in a couple years. Like I could see Nico Horner, Suzuki, maybe Ian Happ.
Hopefully not Hayward.
Hayward's got to go. His time's coming up.
Appreciate all he's done for the Cubs,
thank you for what you've done, but you know what? It's not working out. If I had a penny for every time he hit the ball on the right side of the infield, I'd be rich. We all would be. But yeah.
And you said that last night you were out and you were getting into a little bit of an argument with people about different fan bases.
I'm just gonna, you know what? This is probably pure bias, and I don't care what people think or what you don't think, but Chicago has the best sports fans in all of professional sports for pretty much every team. I understand.
I disagree on the Bears
Cole likes
front.
the Packers, but I'm talking about Chicago in whole, like in general, like all teams. We support these teams who pretty much haven't done much winning for us since 2000. I mean, the Bears ain't done much of anything. The Cubs sure have had a little bit of a run lately. The Sox, have been okay.
They won the World Series.
They won the World Series in 2005, but like we still show up, we show out, like, and then don't even get me started on the Bulls. They fill up other people's arenas themselves and led the league in home attendance, led the league in road attendance. When the Bulls go to a team's arena on the road for that game, that team fills up everywhere the Bulls go. So, and don't even get me started about when the Cubs go to Milwaukee. We pay the bills. Shout out to Dom. We keep the lights running. We keep them being able to serve their hot dogs and their peanuts and all that.
They go to Subway and get free tickets.
You go to Subway, you get free tickets. I never even heard of that. I go to Subway every time to get free tickets if the Cubs did that. And then the Bulls go up and play in the Bucks. The Bucks are the defending NBA champions, and it seems like it's a home game for the Bulls. It's just these fans, we are absolutely amazing. And even Bears fans, you guys are amazing. I'm not a Bears fan, but I'm a Chicago fan. You guys are amazing. We support teams.
They're diehard fans. I'll give them that.
We support teams that don't win. And that's okay because we do win sometimes. But I just wanted to give a shout out. I think we have the best fans in all of professional sports. It's amazing what Cub fans do. Historically, for the Cubs forever, the Cubs have just been bad and dreadful. And on a sunny June day, 75 degrees, the bleachers are packed. People are having a good time.
Well, we got to deal with the rickets.
You got to deal with the rickets. I wish Mark Cuban would buy the Cubs. I really do.
Get Elon Musk
out. Anybody, get the rickets out. All they care about, they don't even know what they want to do. Spend money. I don't know how much more we can do. What can we do as a fan base besides show up every game year in and year out? And then have you tell us that you're going to spend money and the Cubs are going to be competitive. It's just what we want to hear. And then you don't do it. So
I'd rather have Jerry Jones be the owner.
Anybody. Jerry Jones, come own the Cubs, please.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you because I'm a Cubs fan. But if we had to rank, fan bases, I would say Boston's a really close second. I mean, Dave Portnoy and, all those Boston fans. I mean, they are diehards. You saw the way it was when Kyrie went there. You see Red Sox fans, Patriots fans. I mean, being as though you're a Dolphin.
Boston fans are great, but their teams win, so it's easier to follow winning franchises. And not to say Chicago hasn't won. I mean, we can talk about that a little bit.
Nobody really wins like the Patriots have done this.
But before Brady, the Patriots had terrible decades, terrible years before Brady. But let's not act like Chicago hasn't won. Since I've been born in 97, the Bulls were good in the 90s up till 2000. Then you had the Cubs in 03, came around and they choked that series away versus Miami. And then in 05, the Sox.
Shout out Steve Barbin.
Then the Bears when they lost to the Colts. And then you had a few years, the Cubs in 07 and 08 had the winningest record in the MLB back-to-back years, got to the playoffs, choked.
I think I went to one of those games.
And then the Blackhawks came around and gave us the greatest run of Chicago sports
since
the Bulls in the 90s. 3 championships in whatever was that, 6 or 7 years?
6 years.
And
2010, 2015.
And then the Cubs came around in 2015. And the Cubs were good for probably 4 or 5 years. You could count on them to have a good year.
3 NLCSs.
3 NLCSs in a row.
1 chip.
1 championship. And then now the Bulls are better. The Sox are better. So we've had our winning.
Yeah, the Bulls are better. I don't see them winning the title anytime soon.
We've had our winnings, but
yeah. Jake just wanted to get a little bit of that off of his chest.
Yeah. Shout out to Chicago fans, all of you.
Yeah. Next week, I'm going to touch a little bit on the NFL schedule comes out next week. We'll talk about how we think the Packers and Dolphins will fare this year. I personally think the Packers will go undefeated, but I think that every year. So we'll have to see where that goes. Jake, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I can't wait. We know who your NFL teams are going to play. We don't know the dates or
the times.
The times, obviously, but just looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to another season where hopefully the Finns can give me some wins. I think they will.
I think football season is the best season out of all sports. It's my opinion.
It's definitely the most. You only get 1 game a week, and there's only 17
games now, especially for your Dolphins. Since they never get in the playoffs.
Never get in the playoffs, so that's why the Packers are my second team. So I got a team to follow in the playoffs. But
you only get 1 round of that, then they dump you.
But I think I'm just going to tell you, when the Dolphins finally do make a playoff game and win, somebody might want to record. It could be embarrassing.
Could be dangerous. You might not want to be near them.
Could be dangerous, but I have not experienced a playoff win. They have won playoff games in my lifetime, but I was really young and don't remember, period. So I cannot wait for that day.
So next week we'll talk about the NFL schedule. Make sure to like and subscribe if you guys want us to talk about anything and for certain. And down the road, I think you said you want to do a call-in type thing.
Yeah, I'd love to do that.
Yeah. So down the road, we'll have to get that in the works, and hopefully everybody's willing to tune in. Let us know in the comments if you guys like that idea. And hope everybody has a great weekend and enjoys the games. Happy Mother's Day.